I have the key, Crowfather.
Then at last you may enter the Well of Souls. But once undertaken, there is no returning on this path.
I've come this far, Crowfather. I'm not turning back.
Then be warned, Rider of Death. A dark presence guards the well, and the seeds of corruption writhe within.
The well is corrupted.
Yes, but not the nameless kind who have faced it thus far. No. Corruption has chosen a champion, a voice to sound its clarion call.
Then I will see this finished, here and now.
Remember what you have learned, Rider. Corruption is the end of all things. Even death.
Tree, the keys, the well. Why do I get the sense you are testing me?
You test yourself, old friend. For what you've done. For what you had to do. And now you face the ultimate test. Will you bring death? Or give life?
Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the finale of Let's Play Darksiders 2. We've been to the outer reaches of heaven and the outer reaches of hell, and all the lands and realms in between, it seems like. But when all is said and done, we really do not have much left to do, except to enter the Well of Souls and to confront Absalom. And we can take a look around very briefly before we step forward into the final boss. There's no elaborate dungeon leading up to this, it's just our slow, contemplative approach.
Have you ever wondered, Death, why you are untouched, while those around you wither and rot in the grip of corruption? Could it be that you are already blackened by the sin of betrayal? How can you defeat that which seethes in your own heart? You cannot stop me without forever damning your soul!
Then so be it.
Absalom, the Avatar of Chaos, is, of course, our final boss. It's a straightforward one-on-one fight. He is a decent moveset. He's got a lot of big, slow, chunky axe swings, a couple of projectiles, and this is a 3-phase fight. So from this phase onwards, his tendrils on his back will play a bigger role. He has a command grab I think he can start doing now. The fight, I'm just going to say straight up, is a huge letdown. There's not much to this beyond what we've already seen. One thing I'll note is that, if I didn't already say this, he is voiced by Simon Templeman, who is the same voice actor for Cain in Legacy of Kain. And people have already drawn the comparison between Death and Raziel. And with that, we are on to the third phase. Now I can burn him down from here really quickly, as you've seen me do for the other 2/3 of his health bar. But I'm really just waiting for him to do one more attack. One attack that we have not seen yet. Because if this boss is going to be as short and as abrupt as it is, I at least want to see his whole moveset. And the thing that he hasn't done yet is the coolest thing that he can do. And I want to keep my distance for it. He's really just going to spend the rest of this fight refusing to do it. That's not it. This might be... Yes! Good. So this is his grab attack. You can mash your way out of it. If you're far enough away, he'll slowly, look at that dick shot, slowly walk towards you. So if he uses this on you when you're close by, and you do not avoid the initial tendrils popping out of the ground to subdue you, he just threw me off the edge of the world, didn't he? How's it? Ooh, okay. You won't have time to mash out, because they'll be right next to you to start the next part of the grab. But that's it. We are done with Darksiders 2.
Take my hand once more, brother.
I've killed Absalom. Stopped the corruption. I stand at last at the Well of Souls, with no idea what I must do next.
It is quite simple, and yet most difficult.
I'm in no humor for riddles, Crowfather.
You may tap the power of the well to return the kingdom of man, or you may resurrect the Nephilim. But know that choosing one will forever doom the other.
My brother War. I would protect him above all.
To return man to the earth will require a sacrifice. From death came life, and the seeds of humanity were resown. But death's journey was not ended. On the shattered earth, his brother War had slain the Destroyer.
You will be hunted. The White City for certain, the Council, and there will be others. You would wage this war alone?
No. Not alone.
War had broken the seventh seal, summoning the horsemen of the apocalypse. And the number of the riders shall ever be 4.
That last scene just draws a parallel to Darksiders 1 because of course it has to. It has to end in the same place that Darksiders 1 did. I did say Darksiders 1 just now, right? So that's Darksiders 2. Let me know what you guys thought of the game. Personally, even though I've done a lot of criticizing over the course of this LP, I still really enjoy this game, and I care. I wouldn't be as inclined, like I would still give out about its flaws, because I'm not just gonna hold back, but I think I give out as much as I do about this one because I care. Because I see promise in it. And I want it to be better. I want Darksiders 3 to be better and to improve over Darksiders 2 just as much as 2 did over 1. Because there's loads of promise here, and they can still go forward from here. The main game it has this problem where it's really bloated. While the DLCs have the exact opposite problem of feeling completely threadbare. And it often feels like it's just barely being held together with like Elmer's glue and chewing gum. It's repetitive and heavily formulaic. And we just had a pretty lackluster final boss, but I think the beauty and the aesthetic, the visual imagination that went into building this game's world are all worth commending. And even the weaker dungeons, there's usually at least a few good puzzles or something, like a new enemy type, something in them worth complimenting. There's plenty of really inventive puzzles, there's just cool looking designs, top-notch voice direction and talent that praise just continuously. And honestly, I do like that ending. I don't like the final boss, but I do like the ending that follows it, and how it brings Death's character arc to a close. That's another thing, Death's characterization is a ton of fun in this. War's very dry and he's static, he hasn't changed much over the course of the game, over Darksiders 1. And the first game leaned heavily on Mark Hamill's Watcher to be the personality there, but Death has enough personality to carry a game on his own, and a very decent character arc. And the thing that I've neglected to mention so far, the biggest improvement over Darksiders 1, and the thing that I think is one of the biggest appeals, the vastly improved, nearly character action-esque combat system, and the much improved handling of your spellcasting resource, so it doesn't feel like you have to hold back as much. Like you can just let loose sometimes. I think that's all tremendous, and Vigil did a really great job with all of that stuff. Like, it's at its core really fun to play. Even though I find the game to be bloated, moment to moment, I'm still finding myself having fun, just with the basic combat. And that's really important. Because if that feel was off, or if that wasn't fun to do, oh, hey, Liam O'Brien's back for Disembodied Voices. It was War in DS1. I would probably hate this game. If that one little thing was off, game feels really important. Like, if this was Darksiders 1's combat in this game, I would like this substantially less. But I think pacing is probably this game's weakest point, but man, Darksiders 3 is a real chance to improve on an already good game in an already good series. The early footage looked rough, but it is, I think, pretty early. I have hope for it. Bummed that Joe Mad isn't going to be a part of that. But I think they retained a decent amount of the Vigil core team that made Darksiders 1 and 2 great. And of course, other members are scattered to the wind, Airship Syndicate, and Crytek, right? And then Gunfire Games, the remasters of DS2, parts of Vigil. Why do I keep wanting to say Visual? Like Visual. And we still have a post-credit scene coming up. And we will close off after that. And before we get to that, don't forget there are 2 new LPs coming soon. And I want to give one final thank you to Ginger Ninja for picking this lovely game for me to LP during the Pick an LP prize for Gami earlier this year. Thank you to Ginger Ninja if you like this playthrough, if you like this game, and you enjoyed seeing me LP it. You have Ginger Ninja to thank for the fact that this happened. I guess we have a decent amount of credit roll left, so we'll finish up the rest of this outro and let the post-credit speak for itself. So check the description on this video for Twitter links, a link to my Patreon if you would like to support the channel in a monetary way. You can also check for more playlists, the playlist for this LP, and please remember to help out by leaving a thumbs up and a comment. I like reading the comments, plus that stuff helps in the search rankings. It helps more people discover the channel. That's really, really helpful. That's why you'll usually see YouTubers doing that typical, hey, like, comment, subscribe call to action. As cliched and corny as it might be, it's actually really helpful. And that's why we do it. So yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. It's really helpful. And that's gonna do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.
You are alone, Lilith. Where are my Nephilim?
My prince,
The end war is upon us. Yet instead of the army you promised me, death has returned man to the balance.
I await your punishment.
This time, Lilith, you will get no pleasure from it.